It is now 7 PM on March 5th, 2024, and I'm calling to order the City of Brookings Planning Commission. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will conduct this meeting in regular format and will allow commissioners, applicants, and interested parties an opportunity to speak. This meeting is being broadcast live on PEG Channel 181 and can be streamed on the city's YouTube channel. Roll call? Oh, I'm sorry. Introduction of new commissioners. So we've got Blake Peters and Nicholas Chapman. Thank you. Welcome and thank you.
Commissioner Peters,
Present.
Commissioner Coons,
Here.
Chair Watwood,
Here.
Commissioner Wolfowitz,
Here.
Commissioner Chapman,
Here.
Commissioner Bruce,
Here.
Commissioner Vaughn.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. So item 3, Planning Commission Chairperson announcements and action items. 3.1, election of chair and vice chair. Do we have any nominations?
Are you up for it again?
I'm asking for nominations. So,
Well, then I nominate you.
I'll second that.
Yeah. He does such a good job. It's good.
Cody, you're vice chair. Didn't you want to take it for a year or so?
No, you're good. It's okay.
And is there a vice chair?
Is there a motion for chair?
Do you want to deal with the chair first? Okay. Vote. I think there's a motion and a second.
Who seconded it already?
I did.
Yeah, Tony did.
I always do.
Yeah.
Commissioner Wolfowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Vaughn,
Yes.
Commissioner Chapman,
Yes.
Commissioner Peters,
Yes.
Commissioner Coons,
Yes.
Commissioner Bruce,
Yes.
Chair Watwood.
Yes. So do we have a nomination for vice chair?
Cody, are you up for it?
Okay.
Second.
Commissioner Peters,
Yes.
Commissioner Coons,
Yes.
Commissioner Watwood,
Yes.
Commissioner Wolfowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Chapman,
Yes.
Commissioner Bruce,
Yes.
Commissioner Vaughn.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 3.2 is consideration of a 2-year extension of file number SUB-2-21 to revise the conditional approval. Number 3, to revise the expiration date.
This is a request for a 2-year extension for filing on approved final plat for Seacrest Subdivision 3, Phase Subdivision 3. May 4, 2021, the Planning Commission granted preliminary approval for Seacrest Estates 3, a 22-lot subdivision in the East Harris Heights area. Upon filing a final plat, the applicant was advised of inaccurate surveys details and is now requiring to gain access to 2 parcels in the subdivision through an adjoining parcel and private road. This has delayed their final plat, but this is actually going to be coming back to you next meeting. They'll have a final plat ready for approval. Normally, we don't do final plats approved through Planning Commission unless there's a significant change in access as one of them. So that'll come back to you guys next meeting. But this is for an extension because they are past the time and they need to have an extension on record.
Motion to approve?
So,
No, I just,
yeah, in your script, there's a motion.
Oh. In the matter of file number SUB-2-21, I move that the Planning Commission approves a 2-year extension to revise conditional approval number 3 to revise the expiration date to May 4th, 2025, based on the staff report and information provided.
Second.
Commissioner Coons?
Aye.
Commissioner Wapler?
Aye.
Commissioner Wolfowitz?
Aye.
Commissioner Chapman?
Aye.
Commissioner Bruce?
Aye.
Commissioner Vaughn?
Aye.
Commissioner Peters?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 3.3 is a consideration of a 2-year extension of file number MOD-1-15/DDP-1-10 to revise the conditional approval number 2 to revise the expiration date.
So again, this is an extension of DDP 1-10 for Lone Ranch for an additional 2 years. Our code allows for 2-year extensions without quasi-judicial process. So they're asking for an additional 2 years, backdated from February 1, 2024. So it'll extend through 2026. Yeah, February 1, 2026. So the property just recently sold, so we have a new owner, and there is, we have the USD projects that are in design right now, and we'll start construction here in the next year, bringing infrastructure out to this location. So we feel like another 2-year extension will work, give them time to get themselves going for development.
I think we're good.
In the matter of the file number MOD-1-15/DDP-1-10, I move that the Planning Commission approve a revision of conditional approval number 2 and revise the expiration date to February 1st, 2026, based on the staff report and information provided.
Second.
Commissioner Vaughn?
Aye.
Commissioner Wolfowitz?
Aye.
Commissioner Bruce?
Aye.
Commissioner Peters?
Aye.
Commissioner Chapman?
Aye.
Chair Wolfowitz?
Aye.
Commissioner Coons?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 4, public hearings. The below applications are quasi-judicial hearings, and the Planning Commission will make a decision on each of these matters. And this is something. Oh, shoot, sorry. Thank you. Sorry. We are about to begin the public hearing portion of the agenda. The following information applies to all of the applications being heard today. The public hearing will be conducted in the following manner. First, the planning staff will present their report. The applicant will make his or her presentation. Next, anyone wishing to speak in support of the proposal will be afforded an opportunity, followed by anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the proposal. Finally, any interested parties or representatives of public agencies will be asked to testify. All speakers must state their names and mailing addresses. Any person who wishes to speak may be asked questions by the commissioners. The applicant will be offered the opportunity to rebut evidence. Planning staff will then be given the opportunity to make any final comments at the end of the public testimony portion of this hearing. Testimony and evidence must be given under the following guidelines. All testimony and evidence must be directed toward the criteria outlined in the staff report, comprehensive plan, or land use regulation which applies to the decision. Except for the applicant, testimony shall be limited to 5 minutes unless otherwise stated by the chair. Any exhibits presented will be marked as part of the record and will be kept by the planning staff until appeal opportunities expire. Failure to raise an issue accompanied by statements or evidence sufficient to afford the commission and the parties an opportunity to respond precludes ALUBA to the Oregon Land Use Board of Appeals, LUBA, based on that issue. Failure of the applicant to raise constitutional or other issues relating to proposed conditions of approval with sufficient specificity to allow this commission to respond to the issue precludes an action for damages in circuit court. Prior to the conclusion of evidentiary hearing, any participant may request additional time and the opportunity to present additional evidence or testimony regarding the proposal. This is limited to those who have spoken on the request. Repetitious testimony is not necessary and is discouraged. We have 4 agenda items for consideration tonight. CUP-3-24 at 542 Spruce Street and CUP 4-24 at 433 Redwood Street are for conditional use permits for short-term rentals, and CUP 5-24 is a conditional use permit to operate rental storage units at 508-520 Hemlock Street. The final item is a continuation of CUP-2-24 for a conditional use permit for a short-term rental at 914 Marina Heights. All 4 items will be quasi-judicial hearings, and the Planning Commission will make decisions on these matters. By a show of hands, does any commissioner have ex parte contact to declare for any of these applications? I see no hands raised. By a show of hands, does any commissioner have any personal bias or personal interest that would preclude their participation in hearing any of these applications? I see no hands raised. By a show of hands, does any commissioner have any potential or actual conflict of interest to declare for any of these applications? I see no hands raised. Does anyone object to the jurisdiction of the Planning Commission to hear these matters? Seeing no hands raised in objection, we will now proceed with the presentation of these applications. We will now proceed with the following applications. Agenda item 4.1, CUP-3-24. The time is now 7:12 p.m. and the public hearing to consider the following application is opened. In the matter of file number CUP-3-24, a request for approval of a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental facility at 542 Spruce Street. The applicant and owner is Aaron McLennan. The criteria used to decide this matter is found in section 17.124.170, short-term rentals, chapter 17.136, conditional uses, and section 17.52.040J, general commercial district conditional uses. We will now proceed with the staff report.
This is a request for a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental in a single-family dwelling located at 542 Spruce Street, Assessors Map 4113-05 CB, tax lot 02900, Zone C3 General Commercial. The subject property is surrounded by residentially developed parcels to the east, west, and south, and commercially developed properties to the north. The property is regular in shape, 0.09 acres in size, and located on the north side of Spruce Street. The property is accessed from Spruce Street, which has a paved traveled surface. There are public improvements in the right-of-way. The property is developed with a single-family, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 654-square-foot dwelling. The existing driveway is of sufficient size to accommodate 2 vehicles. Utilities are provided, and the applicant has advised a local representative residing within the Brookings urban growth boundary will be responsible for the property and available to have repairs made, resolve disputes, and/or terminate occupancy if necessary. We did not receive any written comments from adjoining property owners.
Thank you, Lori. Aaron, do you have anything to say?
I'm just looking for.
State your name and your mailing address, please.
Erin McLennan, 99261 North Bank.
Aaron, can you step up to the podium?
Brookings, Oregon.
Thank you.
I'm just looking for some versatility in this rental. So it's kind of just a backup option. I'd like to do long-term, and that's what we're doing now, but just some, options. I hope you'll grant this for me. That's it.
Thank you. Do we have anybody speaking in support other than the applicant? Any opposed? Any interested parties? Any applicant rebuttal? Any staff additional comments? Does any participant request additional time to present evidence? Do you request additional time to present evidence?
No.
Thank you. In any land use decision, the burden of producing substantial evidence to demonstrate compliance with the applicable criteria is upon the applicant. If adequate evidence is not provided, the applicant must be denied. An applicant may be granted up to 7 days additional days to submit written argument. Does the applicant request additional time to submit written argument? If not, are you willing to waive written argument and have a decision made this evening?
Yes.
Thank you. It is now 7:16 PM and public testimony is closed on Planning Commission file number CUP-3-24. We will now proceed with Planning Commission discussion and make a decision on the matter. From this point forward, no member of the audience will be allowed to address the commission. Any discussion? Questions?
I move that the Planning Commission approve file number CUP-3-24, a result for conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental at 524 Spruce Street based on the findings and conclusions stated in the staff report and subject to the conditions of approval.
Second.
Commissioner Peters?
Yes.
Commissioner Coons?
Yes.
Commissioner Vaughn?
Aye.
Commissioner Bruce?
Aye.
Chair Wapwood?
Aye.
Commissioner Wolfowitz?
Aye.
Commissioner Chapman?
Aye.
Motion carries.
I move that the Planning Commission approve the final order regarding file CUP-3-24 based on the findings and conclusions stated in the staff report, subject to the conditions of approval. Second.
Commissioner Wapwood?
Aye.
Commissioner Chapman?
Aye.
Commissioner Peters?
Aye.
Commissioner Coons?
Aye.
Commissioner Wolfowitz?
Aye.
Commissioner Bruce?
Aye.
Commissioner Vaughn?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Agenda item 4.2-CUP-4-24. The time is now 7:18 PM and the public hearing to consider the following application is open. In the matter of file number CUP-4-24, a request for approval of a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental facility at 433 Redwood Street. The applicant and owner is Gail Johnson. The criteria used to decide this matter is found in section 17.124.170 short-term rentals, chapter 17.136 conditional uses, and section 17.52.040J general commercial district conditional uses. We will now proceed with the staff report.
This is a request for a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental in a single-family dwelling located at 435 Redwood Street, Assessors Map 411305, CB, tax lot 08100, zone general commercial C3. The subject property is surrounded by commercially developed parcels to the north, east, and south, and a single-family residence to the west. The subject property is somewhat regular in shape, 0.21 acre in size, and located on the south side of Redwood Street. It is accessed from Redwood Street, which has a paved travel surface. There are no public improvements in the right-of-way. The property is developed with a single-family, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,304 square foot dwelling, a double-car carport, and a paved driveway large enough to accommodate 6 vehicles. The existing driveway is of sufficient size to accommodate 4 vehicles, and the double-car carport will be available for guest use, meeting the required off-street parking requirement. Utilities are provided, and the applicant has advised a local representative residing with the Brookings urban growth boundary will be responsible for the property and available to make repairs, resolve disputes, and/or terminate occupancy if necessary. Staff recommends approval of this application and has prepared a final order to be considered tonight. We did not receive any written comments from adjoining property owners.
Thank you. Gail Johnson, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, Neil Johnson, PO Box 1723, Brookings, Oregon. 433 Redwood Street is the address. Maybe I heard that wrong. You said 435, but it's 433. Okay, it's 433.
Yeah, it's 433.
Great.
That's all you wanted to say? Did you have anything you want to say in support, or? You don't have to, just giving you the opportunity. Okay, thank you. Anybody else like to speak in support? Anybody opposed? Any interested parties? Any applicant rebuttal? Any staff additional comments? Thank you. Does any participant request additional time to present evidence? In any land use decision, the burden of producing substantial evidence to demonstrate compliance with the applicable criteria is upon the applicant. If adequate evidence is not provided, the application must be denied. An applicant may be granted up to 7 additional days to submit written argument. Does the applicant request additional time to submit written argument? If not, are you willing to waive written argument and have a decision made this evening?
Yes, please.
Thank you. It is now 7:22 PM and public testimony is closed on Planning Commission file number CUP-4-24. We will now proceed to Planning Commission discussion and make a decision on this matter. From this point forward, no member of the audience will be allowed to address the commission. Any discussion or motion?
I think we're good. I move the Planning Commission approve file number CUP-4-24, a request for a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental at 433 Redwood Street, based on the findings and conclusions stated in the staff report and subject to the conditions of approval.
Second.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Booth?
Aye.
Commissioner Wolfowitz?
Aye.
Commissioner Chapman?
Aye.
Commissioner Bond?
Aye.
Commissioner Peters? Chair Walker?
Aye.
Motion carries.
I move that the Planning Commission approve the final order regarding file CUP-4-24 based on the findings and conclusions stated in the staff report and subject to the conditions of approval.
Second.
Commissioner Peters?
Aye.
Commissioner Wolfowitz?
Aye.
Commissioner Coons?
Aye.
Commissioner Bond?
Aye.
Commissioner Chair Walker?
Aye.
Commissioner Chapman?
Aye.
Commissioner Booth?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, you're been approved. Agenda item 4.3-CUP-5-24. The time is now 7:24 PM and the public hearing to consider the following application is open. In the matter of file number CUP-5-24, a request for approval of a conditional use permit to operate a rental storage units at 508 and 520 Hemlock. The applicant and owner is Hemlock Street Properties, LLC, Rick Gray. The criteria used to decide this matter can be found in Brookings Municipal Code, Chapter 17, Section 17.52.040H, General Commercial District Conditional Uses. We will now proceed with the staff report.
Thank you, newly elected Chair Watwood.
Yeah, thanks, Tony.
This is a request for a conditional use permit to allow rental storage units at 508, 520 Hemlock Street, Assessor's Map Number 4113-05CB, Tax Lot 6100, 6200, and 6201. The subject property is in an area of commercial businesses and adjacent to one single-family residence. The subject property is 3 adjoining level vacant rectangular shaped parcels totaling .18 acre in size and located on the north side of Hemlock in the downtown core area. The property is accessed from Hemlock Street, which is a paved travel surface approximately 35 feet wide with street parking and improvements in the right-of-way. In the past, 2 of the parcels have been used for outside storage, and 1 had a residence on it that was recently demolished. The parcels currently are undeveloped. The property is zoned C3, general commercial, as are the surrounding parcels. Hemlock Street provides access to approximately 6 businesses, 3 of which are existing storage facilities. The applicant owns the adjacent parcel, which has existing storage units built in 1985. The applicant is requesting to use the vacant parcels, approximately 7,841 square feet, to site 2 new storage buildings. A C3 zone allows storage units with a conditional use permit. If a conditional use permit for new storage units is approved, before construction of the storage buildings, the applicant will be required to vacate the existing parcel lot lines to combine the parcels into one. Ingress and egress will be shared with the existing storage building on the neighboring parcel. On-site parking and street parking is available. We did not receive any adjoining or any comments, any written comments from the adjoining property owners.
Is that it, Tony? Applicant, Rick?
Yep.
Would you like to say something?
Rick Gray, box 7888, Brookings. What can I answer for you?
What would you like to say?
Pardon me?
I don't think we have questions. What would you like to say? Would you like to?
Oh, I'm just hoping to clean up the neighborhood, get rid of Lance Kessler's construction debris and that nasty old house, and get everything paved and concreted.
And you're going to build, like, what kind of structure there?
Probably steel.
Like a
all
metal
steel.
clad pole type building or something like that, or what?
Probably not a pole type. I've been working with a company called Modular Mini up in Tualatin that's done a bunch of work for Ray Benner's outfit in Crescent City. And that's probably going to be my first choice. Otherwise, it's just going to be a matter of which steel building is going to work best for me.
Okay. And so you'll just have storage unit facility?
Plain and simple. No businesses, no nothing, just mini storage.
Okay.
Okay?
Anybody else? Good. Thanks, Rick. Anybody else in support? Opposed? We have Bruce Nishioka.
Actually, not so much opposed as interested party.
Okay. You checked the box in opposition. Would you like to speak in the opposition or interested party column?
More keeping interested party column.
Okay. All right. So, interested parties. Mr. Nishioka.
Thank you. I'm Bruce Nishioka, and my office is at 509 Hemlock, right across from Rick's construction storage units. I appreciate all your commissioner's time. I sat on your commission for about 5 years, and I'll disclose that I know Blake, best plumber around, know Cody, Dad's the best mechanic around, know Skip, best real estate agent.
Thank you, Bruce.
I don't know Sage as well, but I know your brothers Josh and Noah. I think it's important that I disclose all that, and I was surprised that none of you actually know Rick or have any implied or actual relationships to disclose, but that's up to you guys. And I know Tony too for a long time. I know we've met. Actually, your job was Laura Lee's, Rick's next job for years that I used to work with when I was on the planning commission. I'm more wanting to address the conditional use permit 17.136 C3. There needs to be a finding of fact that the proposed use will have minimal adverse impact on the adjoining properties. And I'm really happy that it's turning out to be that our corner of the city is becoming the kind of the foundation of rebuilding and bringing life to the downtown area. We've got that new restaurant that's bringing a lot of people in. First time ever that people are parking in front of my house and my office, which is great. The activity, the people walking around. The Bob Rosa's old ceramic or tile shop is, you've seen, is being rebuilt. We are becoming a really nice beginning of, I think, the rebuilding of the city. And I don't know if you've known it, but back when I was on the Planning Commission in October of 2002, the city actually adopted the downtown master plan. Have you guys ever seen this? Any of you?
Long time.
Long time ago. I think you might have actually spoken about that.
I didn't.
You didn't?
Yeah.
Or you were involved or something, I think, back then. But anyway, it's a great plan. I hope you look at it. The city spent a lot of money, and I believe the council approved it and accepted it. And the idea is to make the downtown area a walking area with people living there and being active, not just during the day, but all the time, night times, restaurants and stuff like that. And I think our area is starting to get that. So I'm not opposing Rick's storage unit idea, but I ask that there be submission to this commission of a plan of landscaping, what it's going to look like. At this point, it's vague on what type of building it's going to be, but something that makes it attractive. And keep in mind, Chris Harris is one of the only residents, and she lives right across from that area. In the last year, she's had to call the police, I think 3 times for vagrancy and criminal activity, drug use, soaking with other neighbors around there, and there is this criminal act. Oh, we had a murder there last fall, just 1 block down the street. So the type of construction that we hope Rick does brings life to the area. Landscaping should be addressed, screening, parking, whether it's paved or not. So I asked that Rick bring back a plan that is more detailed, that would address these findings of fact that you must make, which I don't believe you can make. And Rick does have the burden to prove this. So I ask that there be a follow-up hearing to address this finding of fact.
I do believe, and Tony could comment on this, but the vegetation and landscaping plan is part of his application process for permit.
Yeah, he'll need to meet any requirement of the code when we process his building application.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's not something we can arbitrarily implement here. There's a written code for how much impervious space and all that, but it doesn't happen here.
I think it does. I think it happens before the Planning Commission to make a finding of fact of the minimal adverse impact on the area. So you can't make the finding of fact without actually having the plan before us.
We don't typically require applicants to develop full plans until they get an approved conditional use permit. I mean, it's sort of a little ahead of itself.
Right.
So
once that happens, then.
yeah, they'll need to meet.
So
they'll need to meet the
once
code.
this gets approved, then he has to submit that plan to the planning department.
And I disagree. I think the finding of fact has to be made before the condition is approved. We'll disagree.
No, it's great, but I don't think that anybody, well,
I believe the plan is supposed to be before you now. How could you make the finding of fact?
is it?
So let me interject here.
Yeah.
The conditions of approval will list everything that he's required to comply with. And he will not be able to move any further forward until he can prove with this project that he meets the conditions. That's why it's a conditional approval. you're conditioned to meet you're going to get approved on the conditions that you meet the requirements when you build.
Right.
So
And will there be another hearing of finding of fact?
you will not.
Okay, so you've given me an appellate brief.
Well, correct me
Thank you.
if I'm wrong here, but there was a old house that was torn down in dire, needs for repair, and it sounds like he's going to lay a bunch of nice concrete and a brand-new building there. To me, that sounds like an improvement,
I don't know at this plan. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it. So that sounds great, and that's what I'm asking for.
Well, it's under the conditions of approval in section 5, all driveway, parking, and vehicle maneuvering areas shall be surfaced with asphalt or concrete. This is one of the issues you addressed.
And I haven't seen the plan,
Conditional use permit.
but I haven't seen the plan. I understand it's in the code, but I haven't seen the plan.
Anything else?
Nope, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Rick, do you have any rebuttal?
I don't plan on doing any landscaping, I'm pretty sure there's no requirements for it. It's not really practical. I mean, if there was a spot that you could plant a tree to replace that grand old one that had to leave when we did the Hemlock Street Improvement Project, that would be great. But there really isn't. I thought about asking Tony if we could put something in that 18-inch right-of-way between the sidewalk and the lot line, but then you're gonna have vegetation growing up against a metal building, and that's gonna cause long-term problems. So while I sympathize with the Nishiokas, I do believe that a nice brand-new metal building is gonna look far superior to the pile and the old house that was there for so many years.
Tony, is there when Lorraine built that building there on Railroad, there had to be a landscaping plan with that? Is there no landscaping plan required? Do you know off the top
I
of
think the
your head?
landscaping plan is associated with parking lots.
Okay.
So, but we can review that again. His conditions, the condition of his approval is that he meets all code requirements,
Okay.
not just the planning side, but the building side as well.
And so you have a storage unit facility with no outside parking.
Right.
Permanent, so it's not a parking lot. Is that correct?
And we can verify that, but again, when we
Yeah.
review his plans, we'll vet his plans that he will develop after he gets this permit, which is going to take, thousands of dollars to develop.
Right, right. Thank you. Staff, any additional comments?
I have none.
Thank you. Does any participant request additional time to present evidence?
I do.
Okay. Tony? We have Bruce Nishioka wanting to request additional evidence?
That's his option.
So we're tabling this until next month?
We're going to have to, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So we continue.
Yeah, so do I hear a motion to continue this?
Yeah. I move that the planning commission continue file number CUP-5-24, request for conditional use permit to operate rental storage unit at 508 and 520 Hemlock to the next scheduled planning commission meeting for the applicant or his representative to address questions raised. I make this motion citing the following criteria as not being met concerned is Mr. Nishioka wants more time to present evidence for the concerns you brought up, so.
What exactly are those concerns, other than landscaping, which is
Well,
obviously not practical on the plan?
He's going to present that additional evidence within 7 days. He doesn't have it right now. So we're just addressing the fact that,
Okay.
I second the motion.
Commissioner Warren?
Aye.
Commissioner Chapman?
Aye.
Commissioner Wolfowitz?
Aye.
Commissioner Peters?
Aye.
Commissioner Coons?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Chair Whatwood?
aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. We're continued. So Bruce, you have 7 days. Tony, that first full day starts tomorrow. Is that business days? It's 7 business days? Starting tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we need to get Cheryl Kelmar on the phone.
Repeat. Repeat. Yeah.
Hi Cheryl, this is Michelle with the City of Brookings. We've got you on speakerphone here in the Planning Commission meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we are on to, yeah, I'm going to start speaking now, so just listen. Agenda item 4.4-CUP-2.24. The time is now 7:41 PM and the public hearing to consider the following application is opened. Can you hear me okay, Cheryl?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. In the matter of file number CUP-2-24, this is a continuance of a request for approval of a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental facility at 914 Marina Heights. The applicant and owner is Cheryl Kelmar, who is with us by phone tonight. We will now proceed to continue the hearing. So first, we will have the staff report.
So this is a continuation.
Tony, hold on one second. Cheryl, can you hear Tony okay?
I can't hear him very well, but
I have a microphone. This is a,
try.
Okay.
this is a continuation of this application from last meeting. We had, at the time, we had a written complaint.
Light pollution.
Which has since been rescinded. So that letter of opposition has been withdrawn.
Okay.
So we have in front of you is an application for a short-term rental, and staff recommends approval based on the findings in the staff report.
Okay. So Cheryl, I'll give you an opportunity to speak on behalf of your application.
Well, I don't think I have anything else to say. I wrote in saying that I don't see that there's a reason that it should be denied. If you compare my house compared to other properties in the area and what their roads are like, I mean, Marina Heights has plenty of room, and I don't anticipate tons of cars being produced by this. If I do short-term rentals, I don't expect all of a sudden to be a huge amount of additional traffic on the road. I wouldn't want that in my house because I care about my house and the stuff I have in it. So I'm not going to be creating a big party house. So that, I guess that's all I have to say. I don't see any reason why it would be denied.
Okay. Is there anybody in the audience in support? I don't see anyone. Is there anybody in the audience opposed? I don't see anyone. Any interested parties? I don't see anyone. Any applicant rebuttal? I don't think you have anything. Nobody's presented anything against you. Do you have any rebuttal to any of that?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Rebuttal to?
To nothing. Nobody said anything. It's just a column I
No, I
checked.
don't have a rebuttal to nothing.
Thank you. Any staff additional comments?
None.
Does any participant request additional time to present evidence? Cheryl?
No.
In any land use decision, the burden of producing substantial evidence to demonstrate compliance with the applicable criteria is upon the applicant. If adequate evidence is not provided, the applicant must be denied. An applicant may be granted up to 7 additional days to submit written argument. Does the applicant request additional time to submit written argument? If not, are you willing to waive written argument and have a decision made this evening? Cheryl?
Well, I guess, yes. I mean, yes and no. I mean, I'm not there, so I can't do the research. I can't go and look at places that have been allowed to be permitted in order to do the research that I need to do. So I
Okay.
have a choice but to say yes.
So
I
yeah.
mean, to waive it because I'm not there.
So yes, your answer is yes?
Yeah.
Thank you. The applicant is not present. The applicant is not present. They waive their right to request additional time to submit additional written argument, and a decision will be made this evening. It is now 7:46 PM, and public testimony is closed on Planning Commission file number CUP-2-24. We will now proceed to Planning Commission discussion and make a decision on the matter. From this point forward, no member of the audience will be allowed to address the commission.
I have nothing to say. Let's move this. I move that the Planning Commission approve file number CUP-2-24, a request for a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental at 914 Marina Heights based on the findings and conclusions stated in the staff report and subject to the conditions of approval.
Second.
Commissioner Coons?
Aye.
Chair Wapler?
Aye.
Commissioner Peters?
Aye.
Commissioner Wolfowitz?
Aye.
Commissioner Chapman?
Aye.
Commissioner Bond?
Aye.
Commissioner Bruce?
Aye.
Motion carries.
We have a motion and second for
I
final.
move the Planning Commission approve the final order regarding file CUP-2-24 based on the findings and conclusions stated in the staff report and subject to the conditions of approval.
Second.
Commissioner Coons?
Aye.
Chair Wapler?
Aye.
Commissioner Peters?
Aye.
Commissioner Wolfowitz?
Aye.
Commissioner Chapman?
Aye.
Commissioner Bond?
Aye.
Commissioner Bruce?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Congratulations, Cheryl. Your conditional use permit is approved.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye. Item 5, minutes for approval. Everybody have a chance to review the minutes of the February 6th meeting?
I move the Planning Commission approve the Planning Commission minutes for the February 6, 2024 meeting.
Second.
Commissioner Bruce?
Aye.
Commissioner Peters?
Aye.
Chair Wapler?
Aye.
Commissioner Coons?
Aye.
Commissioner Chapman?
Aye.
Commissioner Bond?
Aye.
Commissioner Wolfowitz?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 6, any public comments? Any unscheduled public appearances? Casey McLennan's unscheduled
Casey
public.
got something to say.
Item 7, report from the planning staff.
Well, we'll be having a planning commission meeting next month. So far on schedule, we have one CUP for the addition of a school, a private school at 1 Park Avenue. And we'll have a CUP for a short-term rental, and we'll have the continuation of the CUP tonight.
Where is Park Avenue? I should know that.
Good Sam,
Yeah.
right there
Oh,
next
that's right.
to.
Yeah, yeah.
Wasn't there a school already there? Wasn't
It's a
there preschool?
church.
Yeah.
It's a church that's requesting to be able to use its couple of its basement rooms as a classroom for 1 to 8th grade for up to 10 students.
The Baptist Church?
I'm not
No.
sure which one it
It's
is.
Seventh Day. It's the
Yeah, it's
Kurtz.
Seventh-day Adventist.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all?
That's it.
Thank you. Any commissioner final comments? Anybody? I don't have anything.
Let's wrap it up.
Meeting is adjourned.